Hey guys and girls, first of all, I hope you are having, or have had, depending on when you watch this video, a fantastic Memorial Day. This is Memorial Day, and I just had to come on here and talk about the fact that this is more than just simply a 3-day holiday. I've seen some stuff on television where politicians and news anchors and this, that, and the other talking about Memorial Day and wishing people a great holiday and hoping that you had a great 3-day holiday, and not mention Memorial Day, what Memorial Day is all about. And you know, Memorial Day is about 50 years old officially here in this country. I think it was actually officially become an American holiday 1971, which is, if that's figure right, it's about 50 years. And we've been celebrating Memorial Day ever since right after the Civil War. Memorial Day is different than Veterans Day. I've had comments on our channels about explain the difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day. Veterans Day is where we honor veterans of American service, the military people. Memorial Day is where we honor those families and those individuals of families that have given their lives for this country, have given their lives so Jimmy Houston could go fishing, have given those lives so you can go to church, have given those lives so you can vote, have given those lives so you can protest whatever you don't like about America, have given those lives so you can say something even if most of the other people disagree with it. And we're at a point now where we may be losing that particular freedom of speech. Freedom of speech for a lot of people are only if you agree with them. If you disagree with them, they kick you off social media, they kick you off Twitter, they cancel out your beliefs, and you're only allowed to have freedom of speech. And that's the way a lot of the people want it. And that's perhaps what America will become. That part of our freedom may go away. But that's what those people fought for, and that is what we're celebrating when we celebrate Memorial Day. It is not just a 3-day holiday. It is the last Monday in May, and last year it was about a week earlier. But I just wanted to come in here and talk a little bit about it because it's such an important deal. And can I tell you, it's something that parents need to be talking to their kids about and explaining these various holidays we have, like the 4th of July, Independence Day, like Christmas, like Easter, Labor Day, all of these various holidays that we celebrate here in America that a lot of our woke society is trying to cancel out. They're trying to cancel out Memorial Day now. I've seen many things on television this week leading up to this Memorial Day where they're talking to kids in college campuses and stuff, and they're thinking that Memorial Day is a symbol of American imperialism. And you know, America doesn't own any other country in the world. We don't really control any other country in the world. We fought a lot of wars, but we fought wars for Americans. And what scares me and what bothers me is that we have a voluntary military. Our military people that goes and fights for our freedom, and the ones that give the ultimate sacrifice, they call it, their lives, their own blood, gives their breath, the last breath they have in their body to keep you and I free. It's voluntary. They're not drafted into it. They're not made to be in the military like they are in many, many countries around the world. They volunteer to go fight for this great country of ours. And one of the things that's troubled me over the last few years is that we have such a large segment of our population that believe that hate America, that they hate America. We have so many politicians that hate America. We have a great number of our members of Congress that hate America, and they spew that and talk about it every day. It's not a secret. They're not trying to hide it. They simply hate America, and they believe that America needs to be totally changed. They want a Marxist country. What, as I was a kid, was taught was communism. Now they call it democratic socialism or Marxism or some other name that is a little bit more palatable. And can I tell you, in thinking about that, and I've given it a lot of thought, and I'm not trying to be political here at all. I'm just talking about a country that I love, a country that has allowed me to, for crying out loud, to fish for a living, How many countries can you go do that in the world? You can't do that in Venezuela. You can't do that in communist China. You can't do that in Russia. You can't do it in these Marxist, communist, socialistic countries that so many people want America to become. But can I tell you, we have a lot of people that are wanting that. And I know a lot of the older people say, oh, no, we don't have people wanting that. Well, we do. And we do because they've been taught that in school since they were 4 years old. And the people that are out burning down Minneapolis and Portland and Seattle and LA and New York and all this kind of stuff, the people that are doing that have been taught since they were 4 or 5 years old that America is bad. They've been taught to hate America. They've been taught to hate other people because of the color of their skin, whatever that color may be. They teach one color to hate the other color. It doesn't really matter. And that's not happening in all schools. It doesn't happen everywhere. Probably a lot of the schools right here in Oklahoma, that's not what they're teaching them. But very few schools in the United States of America now say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I said that every day I was in school. They never said the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. And even some that do take out the word under God, which was added because our country was built under God. Our country was built on biblical principles, and it should always be that way. And we had a president one time that said America is not a Christian country. Well, it perhaps is not a Christian country, but it was designed to be a Christian country, and most of us still want it to be a Christian country, or a great many of us want it to be a Christian country. But we've got so many schools that are teaching kids since they're 4 or 5 years old to hate America, that America is a bad place. You need to hate America. You need to hate yourself if you're white because you're white. You need to hate somebody else because they're white or they're a different color. And they've been teaching that in schools. And parents are just now beginning to realize that and beginning to fight back about that. But for a lot of generations, it's gone. We owe the ability of those teachers to teach that to those people that have died. Because they've given them free speech in schools and they've allowed them to do it. Not every teacher's doing that. I'm not, don't see any of you at school, because I've got school teachers in my family, and I'm sure praying that they're not teaching their students to hate America. I know my granddaughter's not, and she just started teaching school this year, and no matter how they tried to indoctrinate her, she's not going to teach kids to hate America. She loves America. And hear the rain. We've had big changes here in Oklahoma. That's why I'm inside a building. Is we went from beautiful to beautiful to rain, and we love the rain. We're thankful for it. I'm thanking God for that rain this morning. But we need to pay attention. We need to teach our kids what something like Memorial Day is all about, and why those people were willing, voluntary army, willing to give their life for the United States of America. Now, we haven't had the draft in a long time. We had it during the Vietnam War. I mean, it wasn't all that far back, but that's pretty far back right now. Vietnam veterans are my age, really, so it's pretty far back. But all of the people that are in the military since then are voluntary military. And what concerns me is that most of these people that believe that hate America and learn to hate America by their teachers in school, are they willing to lay down their life for America? Are they willing to die for the freedoms that we have? Or do they simply want to become a Marxist country? And I'm not throwing rocks at the people that want to do that either. I mean, I understand why they want to do that. And there's a lot of people that want to do that. We are having that proved right now, because in a Marxist country, everybody has about the same thing, except the ruling class, the elite class, which that's why the politicians, so many of them in Washington, congressmen and senators, want socialism. They want Marxism. We had a man that, had they not cheated him in the Democratic Party, that it avowed socialism, wears it proud. And he would have probably been president the last two elections had they not cheated. His own party cheated him out of the nomination. And maybe they cheated him out of the nomination because they didn't want socialism. I don't know. But socialism sounds pretty good. And we've got a lot of people in this country that believe that's what they want. And they're proving it right now. Those that are collecting, we've got a system going right now where you can be unemployed and you get unemployment money from the state. We've had that in Oklahoma forever. I think it's a great system. A great system. You know, it's all the rest of us helping those people that can't find a job. But there are millions of jobs available now. But the federal government has gone in and added $300 a week on top of that. Now, a lot of states have rejected that money. We rejected it here in Oklahoma. And they've rejected it in a lot of the states, and because we want the people going back to work. We want them working. But a lot of the people, and you almost can't blame them, but they would rather take that unemployment check of $500, $600, $700 and a week and another $300. It's more than they can make on a lot of jobs. And so they're what they're doing, though, and maybe unaware of it, is saying, oh, I want socialism. I'll just not work and take that money as long as I can. When it runs out, I'll go back to work. Well, so we do have a lot of people that want socialism. It sounds real good. We'll take all the money from the corporations. We have a president that wants to do that right now. We take all the money from the corporations, we'll dole it out to the other people, and everybody will be equal. Everybody will have the same. Can I tell you, America is not built on that. America, if everybody's the same, who's going to hire the people to work? Who's going to have money to hire them? You only have money to buy your food. And what's happened in all the socialist countries around the world is people are starving to death. The last one to become socialist recently was Venezuela. The people don't have enough to eat down there. And I love Venezuela. I've been there 30 times, 40 times probably. It's a great country. I love it. I love the people. And they've turned to socialism recently, and they're suffering because of it. And the socialists, people that want socialism here in America, are saying, well, we won't be like Venezuela. We're not going to be, we'll never be Venezuela. Well, we will if the Marxism, socialism, and we've got two great violent entities out there in the country that are going around burning towns down. That's what they're fighting for. They're fighting for Marxism. They're fighting for socialism. They're fighting where everybody's equal. Everybody's equity. They're equal. They're equal. Everybody's got the same thing. We're all poor, but we got the same thing except this ruling class, which are the politicians that run things, and then they've got everything. They've got opulence. They've got a life of luxury. They've got everything. And so it sounds good sometimes, and I understand why people want to do it, and I understand why people will take the unemployment checks rather than go back to work if they're making more money. It almost makes sense for them to do it, but many of them won't. But what we've got to remember today, we've got to remember how many people were willing to lay down their lives for the United States of America. Not as a socialist country, but as a free capitalistic country. How many people were willing to jump out of boats and run up on islands with bullets flying all around them? How many of them, read the story about Captain Kangaroo, read the story about Mr. Rogers, read those and look at them. Captain Kangaroo stood up with enemy fire flying all around to get his men off of that island because they were being killed by the hundreds. Captain Kangaroo. Mr. Rogers wore a sweater to cover up his tattoos. He was a Navy SEAL. Hand-to-hand combat killed over 25 people. Later became a minister, became a preacher, always wore the sweater to cover up those tattoos because he was kind of ashamed. Of what he had done. But he did it to defend America. He didn't die. He saw a lot of people die. Saw a lot of his brethren, his fellow soldiers die, men and women. That's what Memorial Day is all about. It's not a 3-day holiday. It's about honoring those people. I've told this before occasionally on Memorial Day. In the last couple of years we've been on social media. I was named after my Uncle Jimmy, who was missing in action in the war. They thought he was dead. He wasn't. He's got Purple Hearts and medals. He doesn't have a Medal of Honor, but he's got all kinds of medals and stuff. Never really talked to me about the things he did in the war, although even I was named after him. But he fought for the United States Marines. My Uncle Gene was in the Navy. My dad was in the Air Force. All veterans. All three of them are not the guys we're honoring Memorial Day. We almost would be honoring my Uncle Jimmy. Thankfully we wasn't, and he came back and lived a great life here in the United States. He got to enjoy what he fought for, what he was shot and wounded for. what he was missing in action for. But he made it through it. But we're honoring those that didn't today. Explain this to your kids. Explain this to your grandkids. Don't think they're being taught in school, because they're not. There might be some schools around here in Oklahoma that does it, or in Kansas, or in Arkansas, or North Dakota, or South Dakota, or wherever. If you live in a big city and your kids are being taught in a big city school, they're not being taught that. They're not being taught that at all. Talk to your kids about what Memorial Day really is. When you're sitting out on the beach, when you're sitting at home, when you're sitting in an airport, you might just ask them, what is Memorial Day? What are we celebrating? Why does Mom and Dad have to get off on Monday and we got a 3-day holiday we're enjoying? See what they say, but explain to them what it's really all about. It's about Americans dying for them, for your kids. I've read so many stories of friends of mine. My buddy Jay Louder, we're sharing it on our Facebook page, by the way. My buddy Jay Louder has got Harvest Time Ministries. Him and I have done a lot of church appearances together, and he's dynamite. He's just such a dedicated Christian evangelist. It's amazing. At Wichita Falls, Texas, and we've done events all around the nation. I love him to death, and he's got a great story about his grandfather, who received a lot of medals also. Those are the men, and his grandfather made it back, but his grandfather talks about men that did not make it back, that fought alongside him, and how brave they really were, and what they gave for this country. Explain that to your family. Explain that to your kids. And especially some of you parents that had kids out there doing all of these peaceful protests, trying to turn America into something that it's never been. We have had this country for a long time. The only country that has lasted with a single form of government like this since the Ming Dynasty is us, the United States of America. I am so proud to be an American. It just wells up inside of me when I hear the Star Spangled Banner at a ball game, and you know I go to football games and basketball games and baseball games. When I see that, and when I see somebody that disrespects our flag, it just burns me up. When I hear that Star Spangled Banner, there's tears run down my face, because this is America. This is America. Men and women fought for this country. Men and women died for America, the United States of America. Let's keep it what it is. Let's teach our kids. Let's ask them what they're learning in school. And let's teach them that if they've got a teacher that tells them that America's bad, let's correct that. Let's correct that at the school board meetings. Let's not let that go on in this country, because, can I tell you, it's been happening for many, many years. A lot of Americans are just finding out that. We have a school system in many places that are teaching American kids to hate America. Let me tell you, I haven't been in every country in the world, but I've been in a lot of them. America is the best place in America to live. Why are they flooding into America by the droves? That's why. Because America is the best country in the world. They're not coming here to change America. They're coming here because of what America is. Memorial Day. Memorial Day. We could not even be having a 3-day holiday, as one of the prominent politicians said. We could not be having that, and that's what she called it. It was a 3-day holiday. Never even mentioned what it was all about. It's not a 3-day holiday. We're having that 3-day holiday because men and women gave their life for America. Men and women gave their life for you and for me and for my family. Men and women did that. That's what we're celebrating. Make sure your kids know that. Make sure your family realizes that that's what it's all about. And we need to make sure that the future generations are instilled with that love and that pride for this country. Not hate for this country, pride for this country. I remember a preacher one time, a black preacher, he was a great preacher, and he said, not God bless America, God damn America. He preached that. He preached that up in Chicago. Well, I'm telling you. Here's Jimmy Houston, who's not a preacher, saying, God bless America. Please, God, bless America. Keep blessing America. Teach your kids to say, God bless America. This is a country founded under God. Our Star-Spangled Banner, our Pledge of Allegiance, everything that's happened under God. So guys and gals, celebrate this weekend. Have a great time. Go fishing. Go swimming. Go to the beach. Have a great time. But remember what we are celebrating. We're celebrating an America that is still free, for the most part, here in 2021 because of men and women who have died for you and me. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one today. And remember, I love you.